It's one of the nation's premier seafood harbors.
The Seafood Industrial Park in Newport News is getting some much-needed improvements. Nico Clemens has the story.
Located at the southern end of Jefferson Avenue in Newport News is the Seafood Industrial Park.
We bring in about half of all the seafood that's landed in the port of Hampton Roads.
The 39-acre city-owned property is a hub of commercial marine activity. Huge improvements are coming. The Virginia Port Authority recently awarded the harbor a grant of more than $300,000. Its goal, promote and enhance facilities that support commercial marine activities across the state. Doreen Kopaz is the harbor master. She says the grant is going towards the East Bulkhead Boatyard project.
Well, you'll have just your normal wear and tear like concrete spalling, rubber fendering that has to be repaired.
Improvements and modifications to the harbor will allow bigger vessels to enter.
Probably 50% of the vessels here are too large, as in too heavy. Well, now that will all be turned around and we'll be back to basically 100% capacity here.
Kopaz says hopefully the project keeps boats from going elsewhere for repairs.
We've lost business to Fairhaven up north.
The hope is the project brings additional employment opportunities and tax revenue. Fairlead Boatworks broke ground on a new facility at the industrial park Friday. It's investing $5 million to meet a growing military demand for new products and services.
It gives a lot more than just the guys on the boat a job.
Construction at the industrial park should start this summer. In Newport News, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.